And we're back with the Screen Team. It's our final segment here on today's Talk 930 KWOC 93.3 FM. And we're all brought to you by Poplar Bluff Drywall, 714-3127. Give them a call today. 33 Productions, parent company of internet marketing products, including Fearless Social, I Am Secret, and others. And finally, Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. Our final film is Annabelle. It's out in theaters right now. It's a 2014 American supernatural horror film with dolls that come to life, and I can't dig that, man. It's
Chris was just thanking me before the break.
I was thanking him. I was thanking him with bad words.
He clenched fists.
The film was produced by James Wan, who I believe didn't he do like a lot of the Saw films and stuff.
He did the first Saw film, and he also did The Conjuring, which is based upon.
It's a prequel.
Conjuring. Yeah, it's a prequel.
A prequel, if you will. Annabelle, Mats, what'd you think?
Didn't like it. There were some genuine scares of this movie, but I think they were undermined by basically, a wooden script. The casting was decent, but they didn't have much to work with. The performances, the dialogue, it kind of took me out of the film. So when the scares did happen, they were good for what they were. If they were just a snapshot from the film, but overall, it just felt it didn't capture me. It didn't hit me. There were some scenes like with any scene with the demon I thought was pretty scary, pretty well done. But then there were other scenes that just kind of had me laughing, or some fall scares that I don't like. I don't like jump scares or fall scares. There's the scene where she's sewing and. You think, oh man, this is going to be gruesome whenever she accidentally pricks her finger, and it was pretty much nothing. And that's kind of how I felt about the film. It seems like it was going to be scary, and then it just failed to deliver upon that.
Well, it's like at least the first half an hour to 45 minutes was pretty boring.
Yeah, it really was.
There was really no scares happening at all, and if there was a scare, like you said, it didn't live up to to what we expect with a horror film. I'm not going to lie though, I did kind of cover my eyes. Through some parts, because as these two gentlemen know, and maybe some of you out there listening, I have a fear of dolls coming to life. I can't do the Child's Play movies. If these guys ever pick them, I won't watch them. It's not going to happen.
What about Puppet Master?
You know what? Maybe you should just not talk anymore, Matt. No, I won't do Puppet Master. I won't do any of those films. It just freaks me out. I can do demons. I can do all that other slasher films, whatever, man. But the dolls, I can do clowns. You want to do a clown film?
No,
that's cool.
Clowns don't bother me either.
I can do clowns. That's fine.
You awesome at clowns, dude.
Property tax scares me a lot more than clowns. I'm sorry, I don't see what the big deal with clowns is.
That's
but yeah,
true.
I understand. I understand dolls there.
There were a few scenes where I was covering my eyes. I was burrowing my face into Sabrina's shoulder. But
she was your knight in shiny armor.
She was. But I can tell you why this was not a scary movie. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Sabrina did not scream out loud in the movie theater.
Does she usually scream out loud?
She usually screams out loud. During The Conjuring, oh my goodness. Like
a much superior film.
The theater was pretty lame until Sabrina started screaming, and then everybody kind of loosened up and was into
have fun
it.
with it. Yeah, this horror should be fun. It should be fun to get scared.
Yeah,
you can have some serious films like we were reviewing earlier with The Devil's Knot. This is not really a serious film. You can take the fears seriously, but that should be the element of fun to it. One of the other scenes that was pretty well done was at the beginning. It was kind of like an ode to Rear Window with Hitchcock, where you could see the neighbors being attacked by intruders.
Yes, that was a very good scene.
Yeah, other than that, though, this film, there were a lot of shots with conversations that were quizzically shot. It kind of took me out of the script. It took away momentum from the film. It wasn't very cohesive, and that makes for a less scary film if you can't get into the story.
Okay. See, I actually liked a lot of the shots.
Did you? Okay.
And I guess it just reminded me of some of the shots that were in The Conjuring, some of the shots that were in The Possession. It made the film look bigger and grander, and kind of had that old school kind of horror, kind of vibe to it.
Right, when they had a shot of like the houses, the neighborhood, or the churches, that was well done. But I think basic shots like for the conversations were poorly done.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense, and it moves. And if it's a dialogue-driven movie, that's your bread and butter.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, there was a scene where like the priest is walking, he's got the doll in his hand going into the church, and I don't know how they had the camera angle, but it was just a cool position, and it was like almost like walking with him where his kneecaps were, but it was like a bigger, grander scale of it. And I thought that was impressive. So
I would agree with that.
So yeah. I guess I was more impressed with some of the cinematography in this film, although there was one scene where I forgot what was happening. The mother in this film was, I think she was in the basement and she was freaking out, and she runs back up the stairs and there was like lightning and flashes of light, and it looked like almost like something out of Cops or something. Like just it didn't seem movie quality anymore.
It kind of took you out of it.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
It really did.
In the same scene, there was a part where she sees. A formation on the stairs. I don't want to give away too much, but I thought that was well done. But yeah, it didn't hit me as hard because of stuff like that. It didn't feel like it was theatrical quality.
Kyle, did you get a chance to see this?
Yeah, I eventually got a chance to go out and catch a matinee of it. Look, no doll's going to scare me.
So we're talking smack now, right?
No, I'm not talking smack. I'm just not. Those movies never did anything for me. And the fact is, the doll was featured in The Conjuring, but there wasn't enough of a backstory for me to get into it from the very beginning of Annabelle. And nothing scared me at all.
So nothing.
No, I didn't feel anything. Matt and I went to go see The Conjuring. I actually left the theater. I walked out of the middle of the movie because I got so scared.
Did you really?
Yes, absolutely. And I had to breathe for a little while. I said, I'm tapping out here.
Yeah.
I felt nothing from this. The scares. I did jump a couple of times, but I thought, wow, that was silly.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. And at the end of the day, I kind of just felt like I sank some money into a cash grab.
So I was getting ready to say that. Do you guys think this was a big cash grab?
Absolutely. Well, it came out a year after The Conjuring. And this is a fabricated story, as we had mentioned earlier. Exactly. This is a movie that, the backstory was this is just a Raggedy Ann doll in real life, and the real story was the nursing school student whose mom got her the doll for her birthday or for whatever. And then she started having, occurrences that were supernatural, that were scaring her, and that's when she called Ed and Lorraine Warren. There's none of that in this film. They mention it at the end, but this whole thing was fabricated,
But they make it seem like it's true.
Exactly.
They don't.
Well, they allude to it, but they never come out and say based on true events like they did in The Conjuring.
Right.
So it's just that Hollywood mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, the mere fact that they did not tell this, they did not give a preface to the story from The Conjuring at the beginning of the movie. For someone who had not seen The Conjuring beforehand and is going into the Annabelle for the first time, they're going to be completely lost.
Yeah,
and not understand where the doll comes from, what's its origins.
All right, so I'm assuming by your guys' tone that not recommending it to folks.
Not really feeling it.
Not really. No, unless you really enjoy doll movies or movies with demons and that sort of thing. And it's something that, it kind of talks about the late 60s and the Manson family trials, which was an interesting period of time.
Right.
Then I wouldn't recommend this film. I didn't enjoy it enough to.
All right, there you have it. Matt and Kyle telling us all about Annabelle here on today's Talk 930 KWOC. Guys, I appreciate you being on the show. You guys did a great job, man.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys. Coming up next week, we did horror this week. We did supernatural kind of stuff. Next week, we're doing kind of the opposite. We're doing a 180. We're doing faith-based movies next week.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
We've got Coach Bill Ray coming in the KWOC studio along with Brittany McKay, and we'll be doing faith-based movies. We'll be doing the Kirk Cameron film Fireproof. We'll also be doing the Russell Crowe film Noah, and a movie that was released earlier in the summer, When the Game Stands Tall, with Jim Caviezel. So that's coming your way next Saturday at 6 p.m. For Kyle, for Matt, and Chris, we are the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC.